share with you about life, love, and character revelation. You know, I got a few thoughts here. I'm running through them. Oftentimes, when somebody's in trouble, or a relationship's in trouble, or somebody does something they ain't supposed to do, they refer to it as being in hot water. Um, and that's interesting because hot water can be used for a variety of things, depending on what you're made of. See, hot water will harden an egg, but it'll soften a potato. Hot water will also strengthen tea. So, the longer you sit in hot water, the more about you is revealed. And I heard this illustration one time. Somebody was drinking a cup of coffee. They had just ordered a cup of coffee, and the coffee was filled to the brim of the cup. And when they turned around and walked out or whatever, somebody bumped into them, said, "Oh, excuse me," and the coffee spilt. Do you know why the coffee spilt? The coffee spilt because coffee was what was inside the cup. Had it been water inside the cup, they would have spilt water. Had it been milk inside the cup, they would have spilt milk. But it was coffee. Therefore, the cup was filled to the brim with coffee. And when they was bumped into, being as that's what was inside the cup, that's what came out. And that illustration makes a lot of sense if you think about it. What comes out when somebody bumps into you? What comes out when you're faced with inconveniences? What comes out of you when you face hard times? What comes out of you when you are being faced or you're being challenged with things you don't like? If there's goodness and mercy inside of you, then goodness and mercy is going to come out. If there's ugliness inside of you, then ugliness is going to come out. You know, it's real important to keep our emotions in check. Somebody does something to us that we don't like and they upset us. If we cuss them out, well, then that's what's inside of us. How we act when we're treated in a way that we don't like, or how we act when we're treated in a way that upsets us, reveals more about us than it does the person that upset us. There's a whole lot of times that somebody can upset us and we'll want to break their jaw. But do we do that? Or do we turn around and say, "God bless you"? Or do we turn around and say, "Man, I understand you might be having a bad day. I'm going to let that slide"? You know, a younger version of ourselves would probably act in an ugly fashion. A less mature version of ourselves would probably not stand for it. A younger version of ourselves, a less experienced version of ourselves, would demand justice or retribution. They're not going to try me like that. What about an older version of us? What about an older version of ourselves? How does that version of ourselves respond? You know, I was tried today by somebody close to me. They're acting in a way that's real ugly. And I just had to sit back and reflect. Am I going to give them the same ugliness that they gave me? Am I going to get down in the dirt, in the mud with them? Is that what's inside of me? That's not what's inside of me. I wish peace for all people. I want to walk peaceably among all men and women. I don't want to create problems where there isn't a problem. I don't want to create a bigger problem where there's a small problem. I want to do everything I can to make the situation better. I want to do everything that I can to help you. And let's get through this together. You know, it's like I said at the beginning of this, hot water will harden an egg, but it'll soften a potato. There's no honor in being good to only people that are good to you. Anybody can do that. But be good to the person who's not good to you. That's the challenge. Is that what's in you? Or are you only good to people that are good to you? Are you only a nice person when everything goes your way? Then when something upsets you, you become a mean, vengeful person? That's not good character. And the hot water is what reveals that character. The being bumped into and spilling the coffee is what lets you know what's in that cup. Being bumped into and spilling what's inside of you, is that goodness and mercy? Or is it ugliness? You know, the only way that we really know the answer to that question is to be faced with aggravation, is to be faced with disappointment, is to be faced with hurtfulness. That's the only way we know. I thank God for all things. I thank Him on days when things are going great, and I thank Him on days when things are not going so great. Because it reveals to me either the steps of growth I've taken, or it reveals to me the steps of growth I still need to take. I just had that on my mind today. It's not the best day I've ever had. But I'm not going to let it change who I am. Who I am is who I am, and that's who I am every day. I'm a good person. I'm a kind person. I'm thoughtful and I'm considerate. And that means I have to be that way, even when I'm faced with circumstances I don't like. And if that's who I really am on the inside, that's how I'll act, even when I'm dealing with people who are not treating me that way. It's easy to be kind to people who are kind to you. But show love and grace and kindness to people who don't return it. That's the measure of a man. That's the measure of a woman. I'm going to go through a few of these comments here, being as y'all were so kind to engage. Let me see here. So Desiree says, I'm a liar. Well, I appreciate your feedback. Is the cup half empty or half full? Well, that's from Jacob. Well, in the illustration I gave, the cup was full. That's why it spilled. Aaliyah wants to say hi a whole bunch of times. So hi back a whole bunch of times. Nobody says hi. I'll say hi back to them. Let's see here. Hey, where are you from? I'm from Florida. Goodness will not get you far in life. I disagree, Dragos. I disagree. Hi, I'm from India. And you? I already said I'm from Florida. Same to you. Appreciate that. Hey, everybody. Good, better, best. That's what we're all striving for. Somebody says, what's up, bro? I say, what's up to you? Astronomy Facts says, bro, I have a question. Go ahead, shoot. What's your question? And What will happen in 2025? I guess we'll have to wait till we get to 2025 to see. I'm dead inside, watching from the Diddy tunnels. I don't have a reply to that. I don't have a reply. I hope you can find that spark of life again. All right, people, just remember the only thing that can spill out of you is what's inside of you. And a lot of times, the only way we know what's inside of us is to be tempted and tried and faced with situations of difficulty that we don't like. Think about it. I hope you all have a great day.